It's been a challenging start to 2025 so far, you may have noticed. But as an investor, here's how you can avoid blowing your top.
Volcano. It's gonna blow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Volcano.
Then, on a morning in May, it all blew away. With a force 500 times that of the atom bomb which leveled Hiroshima, the mountain blew its top.
On May 18th, 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted. What was a quiet morning in southwestern Washington was forever changed by the explosive eruption of Mount St. Helens, the deadliest and most costly volcanic event in U.S. history. After more than a century of dormancy, the mountain stirred to life that spring. Earthquakes rumbled, steam vents billowed, and a visible bulge grew on the north face, warning of pressure mounting below. Yet, despite these clear signals, many underestimated the risks, some out of skepticism, others through familiarity with the mountain's silence. Well, that silence was shattered at 8:32 a.m. with a magnitude 5.1 earthquake, which rattled beneath Mount St. Helens, triggering the largest landslide ever recorded.
Clouds of searing ash and debris swept down its slopes, toppling trees like matchsticks.
And unleashing a cataclysmic lateral blast. A massive swath of forest was flattened in seconds. The summit dropped by over 1,300 feet, and volcanic ash soared skyward, blanketing cities hundreds of miles away. 57 people lost their lives that day, including locals and scientists who, despite mounting evidence, stayed too close to the blast zone. In the aftermath, rivers choked with debris, landscapes were transformed, and the region became a remarkable laboratory for scientists and ecologists studying renewal and resilience. For all its devastation, Mount St. Helens offers a powerful story. Risk is ever present, but how we perceive and adapt to it can shape outcomes far beyond what we expect. Here then are 4 lessons for the modern investor from the eruption of Mount St. Helens. First up is one of my favorites, risk homeostasis. It's how perceived risk shapes behavior. Remember, leading up to the eruption, the visible signs of danger, steam, earthquakes, and swelling mountain, didn't have the same effect on everyone. Some people, accustomed to the mountain's serenity, normalized the risk and discounted the threat. Others saw the warning signs and made conscious decisions to evacuate and take safety precautions. This is risk homeostasis in action. As described in my book, History Lessons for the Modern Investor, humans will self-regulate the risk they're willing to tolerate, adapting their behavior as their perceptions of risk shift. In markets, when volatility subsides or threats appear distant, investors naturally take on more risk, stretching for yield or neglecting hedges. But as perceived danger rises, they often scramble to reduce their exposure, sometimes too late. What's the lesson? Well, cultivating a steady awareness of underlying risk, not just the risk you feel in the moment, can help you make level-headed, forward-thinking decisions rather than reactive moves when danger finally erupts. This episode of the History Lessons podcast is sponsored by Victory Independent Planning. Hey, are you ready to take the stress out of your retirement? At Victory Independent Planning, we put you on the right trajectory with our exclusive VIP retirement glide path. Our smart approach prepares you for what's next by optimizing your sources of savings and income, your medical and healthcare planning, your advanced estate and giving strategies, risk management and investing, and tax planning. Let us help you glide into retirement with confidence. Text Glide Path to 239-567-5477. That's Glide Path, all one word, small letter G, to 239-567 5477 and receive a link to schedule a complimentary consultation. Do it today to start your journey on the VIP retirement glide path, because your future deserves a safe landing. Second lesson, have an emergency plan. After the eruption, those who had prepared and acted quickly, keeping supplies at hand and evacuation routes in mind, well, they fared far better than those who stalled or assumed the worst could never happen. And the same principle applies to investors. Having an emergency plan matters. This often means maintaining adequate liquidity or a clear cash reserve. When markets shake or personal emergencies arise, liquid assets buy you time and options. They allow you to avoid selling core investments at inopportune moments or to take advantage of opportunities that others cannot. In behavioral finance, the simple act of preparation reduces panic, much as those who knew evacuation protocols responded more calmly under stress. So build your financial emergency plan before you actually need it. Next, adapt to change and seek renewal. From the lifeless blast zone sprang new growth. I can attest, I actually lived nearby for a long, long time. Plants broke through the ash, wildlife returned in surprising abundance, and the hiking trails eventually reopened. Investors, too, must be ready to pivot in response to such upheaval. Market corrections or economic disruptions aren't just setbacks. They're opportunities to reassess your strategy, to reallocate towards areas primed for better growth, and to let go of past approaches that no longer work. Renewal requires courage to change direction and the discipline to look for value where others see only ruin. Okay, lastly, learning in a crisis leads to longer-term strength. Mount St. Helens revolutionized the science of volcanology. It was massive, leading to sophisticated early warning systems and better disaster preparedness, thankfully. In investing, every bout of volatility or personal misstep is a chance to deepen your risk awareness and refine your process. How about like right now? Those who reflect on what happened and why, will they emerge better prepared for the next cycle? And there will be a next cycle, transforming hard-won lessons into a more robust strategy for the future. Here's my final thought. The eruption of Mount St. Helens stands as both a cautionary tale and an inspiration. Risk is never absent, it just shifts, and our perception of it often lags reality. By understanding risk homeostasis, maintaining an emergency plan, remaining adaptable, and learning from adversity, investors can turn even the most seismic disruptions into catalysts for renewal and growth. So ask yourself, what's bubbling up underneath the surface? And how can I be ready for it?